From Boca Raton, Florida, the home of Lynn University, and site of the 2012 final presidential debate, this is Beyond the Brief.
Welcome to Beyond the Brief. I'm Patricia Lamley.
And I'm Gabriela Regalado.
President Obama delivered his fifth State of the Union speech last Tuesday in Washington while the whole nation watched. After the speech, the White House website streamed a virtual Q&A live from the White House, which included a panel of senior advisors who answered questions about the State of the Union address. And those questions were actually submitted by citizens via Twitter, Google+, Facebook, as well as from the live in-person audience that was at the White House.
That is correct. The only thing people had to do was to use hashtags like WHChat and SOTU when they submitted the questions via Twitter.
President Obama's hour-long State of the Union speech touched upon creating a new plan to stimulate the economy and creating new jobs. He also touched upon the crucial and long-awaited topics of immigration and gun violence.
Earlier this week, in a nationally televised broadcast from the Capitol, President Barack Obama informed the American people of what he wants to accomplish over the next 4 years in his second State of the Union address.
John F. Kennedy declared to this chamber that the Constitution makes us not rivals for power, but partners for progress.
He stepped out there in the sense that he was able to compromise and he was willing to, and he put his foot out there on the table. So we'll just have to see if the Republican Party comes back and compromises.
So together we have cleared away the rubble of crisis, and we can say with renewed confidence that the state of our union is stronger.
Yeah, of course. I mean, war is always a big spender that takes up a lot of funds, a lot of money. We can reuse that money that we're throwing away in a different country and use it here at home first, because this is where it really matters.
During President Obama's State of the Union address, he mentioned that large corporations were bringing a great deal of high-paying jobs back into the United States.
Over the past 3, Caterpillar is bringing jobs back from Japan. Ford is bringing jobs back from Mexico. And this year, Apple will start making Macs in America again.
President Obama concluded his State of the Union address by assuring the American people that the next 4 years will be brighter than the previous 4. This is William Rafferty for Beyond the Brief.
Many Lynn students have their own opinions on that matter. Young Republicans and Democrats expressed their views on the future of the country and whether President Obama is the right man for the job. Fernando Arias interviewed students around campus and got a clear perspective from both political sides on the subject.
Now, if we want to make the best products, we also have to invest in the best ideas.
After the State of the Union address from President Obama last Tuesday, our students from our campus had much to say about the speech. Here are some Republican viewers who feel the need to express their opinions on that matter.
I felt like it was more of a campaign again. He's still on campaign mode. He really didn't give any exact things of how he's going to change. The way he started the speech was more campaigning, was more like looking at all his accomplishments. That really wasn't all his accomplishment. He took credit for some of Bush's things, so I wasn't really fond of that.
No, just like any other Obama speech, he's a great public speaker. He seems like a nice guy, but yet again, he just targets the rich people for everything. Everything is always the rich people's fault.
Senator Marco Rubio was the Republican spokesman right after the State of the Union address, and he had a lot to say.
Obamacare. It was supposed to help middle-class Americans afford health insurance. But now some people are losing the health insurance they were happy with.
I love how he responded. He's an amazing politician. And I think that he's one of the few politicians that can stand up to Barack Obama and be on his level with his exact commentary and the way he talks and the way he wants the healthcare to be and I just feel that he's a great competitor.
With more than 50 employees, now many of these companies aren't hiring. Not only that, they're being forced to lay people off and switch from full-time employees to part-time workers.
Well, in the next 4 years, I say even within the next 2 years, we're going to see a huge huge hit on the economy again. I want to say it's going to make the 2008 depression look more so like a pillow fight. And the reason being is because the debt ceiling is now, I believe it's $18 trillion. We give people who don't do anything, we give them food, we give them health care, and we give them money every single month for being alive and being an American citizen.
There are valid reasons to be concerned about the president's plan to grow our government. But anytime anyone opposes the president's agenda, he and his allies usually respond by falsely attacking their motives.
I would personally, I think that limitations imposed on small businesses will slow down the economic growth overall.
Every dollar our government borrows is money that isn't being invested to create jobs. And the uncertainty created by the debt is one reason why many businesses aren't hiring.
The address itself was well spoken, but there were some disadvantages as to what was implied per se. Small businesses are what keep the American economy thriving. You crush that, you're delaying progress, basically.
The president loves to blame the debt on President Bush, but President Obama has created more debt in 4 years than his predecessor did in 8. The real cause of our debt is that our government has been spending...
As the 2013 State of the Union wraps up, young Republican voters stated their views clearly on what Senator Rubio presented at the GOP response right after the State of the Union address. This is Fernando Arias reporting for Beyond the Brief.
It's been more than 3 months since Lynn hosted the final presidential debate, but the impact it had on our university still remains on campus. For a small institution like Lynn, hosting such a large event comes with a lot of reward, like, for example, putting its name out. Sidney Putnam sat down with some of the key people who organized this once-in-a-lifetime event and gives us an insight into understanding the impact that hosting this event brought to our university.
On October 22, 2012, Lynn held one of history's most prominent events, the final 2012 presidential debate. For a small institution, the opportunity to host such a large occurrence truly provided great exposure and gave Lynn a chance to be on the map. In recent interviews with the very involved Dr. Watson, American presidential historian and professor at Lynn, and Joshua Glanzer, Director of Public Relations, topics on how Lynn benefited from the debate, what the debate accomplished, how many viewers were pulled in, how many students participated in the event, and the final metric outcome were all covered.
I think it was fantastic. I think it worked well in every sense. It gave us international exposure, the kind that you can't buy. You've seen the commercials when it says, a pair of shoes, $30, a CD, $15. Exposure of international kind, priceless.
We just released our economic impact study last week, and in that study, we pointed out that for the school, it created over $63 million worth of publicity value. And not only did the school benefit off that, but also Boca Raton, which got about $50 million worth of that, and the county also got several $1 million worth of that publicity value. So everybody won from the debate.
With activity from 33,000 news stories, several million social media outlets, and on and off-campus volunteers, Lynn's publicity became very widespread from hosting the debate. This is Sidney Putnam reporting for Lynn University. Now back to Beyond the Brief.
Friday on February 8th has the Valentine tradition. Andrea Bocelli took stage at the BB&T Center in Fort Lauderdale, and during the days leading up to the concert, his brother Alberto Bocelli visited local Costco stores and signed bottles of Bocelli wine, as Rosego reports.
Buongiorno! Andrea Bocelli is a world-famous Italian tenor and singer-songwriter. He was born in Pisa, Tuscany in 1958. Less known is that his family has been making wine in Tuscany for over 130 years. Last Friday, on February 8th, as a Valentine tradition, Andrea Bocelli took the stage at the Bank Atlantic Center, Fort Lauderdale. As always, he gave his audience a magical performance. During the days leading up to the concert, his brother Alberto Bocelli visited local Costco stores and signed bottles of Bocelli wine. The Bocelli brothers are third-generation winemakers and they still have a vineyard in Tuscany. Now, they bring their Bocelli wine selection to the United States. Alberto Bocelli, who was at the Boca Raton Costco with his family, was very down-to-earth and warm as he met with fans of both their wine and his brother's music. Please join us in celebrating the things that truly make a good life: food, friends, la familia, and of course, fantastic wine. This is Azra Ayşegülok reporting for Beyond the Brief.
Transitions Conference, which focuses in helping students with learning disabilities transition from high school to higher education, was once again a complete success. With presentations from more than a dozen professors, parents, and students, the conference welcomed 700 visitors from 20 states and 9 countries. And it was highlighted by a joint presentation between Nancy and Ricky Freeberry, a current graduate student here at the university. Matt Perpich reports.
The story of Ricky Freeberry is a remarkable one. From the child born with sensory integration dysfunction that affects visual, spatial ability, writing, calculating, constructional, and organizational tasks, and the Ricky has attention deficit issues to graduate student at Lynn University, he knows from the start there was something wrong.
The teacher wasn't fed up with them, not so much from a behavioral standpoint, but from a can't figure it out. I was different. I had a higher pitched voice. I couldn't draw the figure of an 8 properly.
Recently, Ricky Freeberry and his mother talked to a transitions conference about what was like growing up.
I mean, in the early stages, Matt, the early years, I'd say it was sad. I was sad because here was a bright little boy, and he was little, he was only 4, who knew so much, but we didn't understand, and we were scared. What's wrong with him? Why can't he learn? You know, you feel bad as a parent, because at least I did for the first few years before I really understood what his disability or his challenges were. I felt bad because I, as his mother, felt like I should be able to help him. You know, let's sit down and work on the alphabet.
How'd you look at colleges?
My husband and Ricky and myself went and visited. And they had to have 2 things, like I mentioned, and you picked up on in the speech. They had to have a support program because we knew Ricky's challenges were enough that it would not be fair. Even if he was admitted to a school that was larger and had less support, it wouldn't be fair. It just would not. We knew the challenges were great enough, and we weren't trying to pretend anything other than that. So it needed a support program, and it needed a strong communication program because we were blessed to know that that was his strength. That is what he wanted to do. So we knew it had to have a great communication program with a good studio. And for him to at least be able to go and be on the air or work his way up to being on the air and doing exactly what you do.
Ricky and Nancy Freeberry showed what worked for them during the 2013 Transition Conference last week. This is Matt Perpich reporting for Beyond the Brief.
Last week I had the delight to visit an Italian deli here in Boca Raton as the best kept secret place for its uniqueness in prices, portions, and tastes. Located in Spanish River, Talia's will grab your attention with its exclusive style and quality of food. Well, now that the secret is out, I'll take you to the scene for a closer look of what Talia has to offer. Are you in the mood for good homemade Italian food? Well, today we bring you to the best little neighborhood Italian restaurant here in Boca Raton.
Porte cazzone con un stemma a rete, una cupulella che vi si era alzata.
Talia's Tuscan table is named after my daughter Talia. She's 15 years old today, and we're here 18 years. We serve the best food at the best price, at the best portion in Boca Raton. I think the key to Talia's is the casualness of it and the good quality homemade food. A nice little corner restaurant, no waitress service, so it's casual. We have a self-serve keg of beer that you help yourself to a tap beer while you're waiting. So the price is very affordable for a college student as well. And we like to have fun. We know everybody's name. We have everybody's picture on a Polaroid picture on the wall from college too. Talia's appeals to all age and demographics. If you're a family on a budget, it's a great homemade meal to have in the middle of the week. If you're a college student, it's a great value as well.
You know what, sometimes you go to a place and it's a chain place,
and it's not the same thing. You come in here and you feel like you're with family. We came here for the first time several months ago with my wife, and we just wanted to experience something new. Actually, a friend of us had referred us over here.
First time I came, a friend introduced me to it, and I liked it so well, and then we came back again, and this is, I think, our third time. I like it.
Wow.
We live in Delray Beach, but this is it's nice.
For all those Italian food lovers, including myself, now we know where to come for a delicious Italian meal. This is Gabriela Regalado reporting for Beyond the Brief.
Having a healthy lifestyle, there is also an option for you. Tara Milham, holistic health coach and owner of Skinny by Tara, met with Jessica Bugan to share some healthy eating tips for college students.
We've all heard of the Freshman 15. I'm here today with Tara Milham, owner of Skinny by Tara, to teach us a little bit about eating healthy while in college.
Hi guys, I'm Tara and I'm a holistic health coach and studying to be a registered dietitian. So I know when I was in college, eating healthy was always something that people are struggling with, and I'm here to answer any questions and help you guys out with that. First, I want to say you always want to make sure you're eating whole, real foods. So foods that are packaged or in a box. I know sometimes they might be more convenient, but you want to try and stay away from those as much as possible. That actually brings me to my second tip, which is you want to try and eat foods that have less than 5 ingredients on the label, if they have a label at all. Something good and very, very healthy is quinoa. Quinoa is something, it's comparable to rice, except it's gluten-free and all natural. It's a complete protein and it's easy to make.
What's a complete protein?
A complete protein means that it contains 10 essential amino acids that your body doesn't produce. So that means you need to get it from your foods, and it's very difficult to find foods with complete protein. Another great tip for college students is to keep on hand emergency. Emergency is great if you feel like you're getting sick or maybe you're hungover. And what it is, it's filled with vitamin C and a whole bunch of other vitamins and minerals, so that'll fuel you and you'll feel great.
A big thank you to Tara for coming and helping us all become a little bit healthier students. You can check out her Facebook page at Skinny by Tara with no spaces. And this was Jessica Bugan with Beyond the Brief.
Wow, that looks delicious. I mean, it has the best combo, you know, tasting good and also being healthy for your body, which is very important to stay fit.
Definitely. But remember, Gabby, if what you are trying to do is avoid those Freshman 15, which we all know, let's face it, we've been through it and thankfully we're past them, healthy eating is only half of what you should be doing. Remember that you should also be exercising. Exercising is key to being healthy and being in shape. And with this, we come to the end of our show. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend and see you next time.